Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on Wednesday, the 6th of June. As always, we bring you the news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Ashwin Bedi. Let's get into the news. The India-Namibia Center of Excellence in Information Technology was officially inaugurated at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. The center was inaugurated by Deputy Minister Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, Namibia's Minister of Higher Education Dr. Ita Kanji Murangi, and Dr. Irod Naumab, NUST Vice Chancellor. Now, Jaishankar said the center has been offering courses since November 2019, and 275 professionals, including government officials from various ministries, students, teachers, and researchers have participated so far. I'm happy to note that a student from this center has won the trophy for the first position at the 6th Namibia Cybersecurity Competition, he added.
Yeah, I'm both.
Yes, you from that side and madam. Yes, just 2 minutes.
Tell us, are you ready?
Are we all ready?
Okay, I think we can start pulling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is an outcome of the development cooperation and capacity building partnership between India and Namibia, and it is being pursued in line with our shared desire to develop human resources, especially of the youth, and give them the right skills in the technology domain. It, of course, reflects the long-standing people-to-people friendship and linkages, which I think you heard the Deputy Prime Minister remind us. And today, in fact, when I called on His Excellency the President, he himself was witness to events in our past history, for which really such sentiments never have adequate words to describe them. Now, I'm happy to note that this center has started offering courses going back to November 2019, when the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, provided the course materials, the reference books, and much of the IT hardware and software. We recognize that the remaining installations were completed in very challenging circumstances during the pandemic, and I would again like to particularly acknowledge and appreciate those who went the extra mile to make that happen. 6 master trainers from Namibia were given training in CDAC in India, and their role and contribution, I think, should also be recognized. And I thank the Vice Chancellor and his entire team for their unstinted support and collaboration to make this project a reality. With the objective of developing industry-oriented programs to address skill requirements in areas such as cybersecurity, big data analytics, and e-governance applications and software development, the center, I believe, has been able to offer courses and to train, as I heard, more than 275 professionals, government officials from various ministries, students, teachers, and researchers. I'm happy to note that a student from this very center, I believe, has won a trophy with the first position at the 6th Namibia National Cybersecurity Competition.
Now, while it is too early to label the reintroduction projects of cheetahs to India a success, cheetahs have shown the ability to survive in India. However, the projects can expect to face more setbacks and challenges. Namibia-based Cheetah Conservation Fund said this in an update with regards to Project Cheetah after 6 cheetahs translocated from Namibia and South Africa have died. A total of 20 cheetahs from South Africa and 12 and Namibia 8 were translocated to the Kuno National Park of Madhya Pradesh in 2022 under the project more than 70 years after the animals were declared extinct. According to CCF, 3 cheetahs, 1 from Namibia and 2 from South Africa, died in holding enclosures at Kuno National Park since January. On 24 March, Namibian female cheetah Siyaya then gave birth to 4 cubs, of which 3 died on 23 May at about 8 weeks of age. This was attributable to severe dehydration and malnutrition. Their health deteriorated rapidly during a recent heat wave that brought temperatures that reached as high as 46.66 degrees Celsius to Madhya Pradesh, India, for several days. 4 other cheetahs from Namibia, Oban, Freddy, Elton, and Asha, have been released into the unfenced wilds of the park. The 4 are doing well, exploring and hunting independently. Project Cheetah field teams are monitoring their movements. The CCF said that while cheetah deaths are never a preferred reality, they were calculated into anticipated losses in the first year for the reintroduction. Together with the first successful litter, we hold that Project Cheetah is well ahead of any calculations made before the animals were translocated, CCF said. That is not surprised by the numerous challenges facing a reintroduction initiative as unique and ambitious as Project Cheetah. Namco, whose deposit money into an Angolan oil block was recently refunded by Sonangol, said in a statement yesterday that all the parties are fully committed to making the transaction happen. Namco and its partners in a subsidiary called Sungara Energies had paid 524 million Namibian dollars of the required 8 billion for a 10% stake in the oil block. It is understood that Namco and their partners in the joint venture had until July this year to ensure they paid the 8 billion Namibian dollars. With the deadline in July rapidly approaching, the pressure mounts for Namco and its joint venture partners to finalize the deal. However, the situation has been further complicated by Sonangol's decision to refund the deposit money, citing negative publicity and concerns surrounding the authorization of Namco's payments. These allegations have cast a shadow of uncertainty over the transaction, making it increasingly difficult to navigate towards a successful outcome. Sonangol had given the joint venture partners a 48-hour ultimatum last week to address the approval allegations and clarify the situation. However, Namco's statement did not offer any insight into whether the refunded deposit has been repaid to Sonangol since that ultimatum was issued. The lack of information regarding the status of the refunded deposit, coupled with the pending deadline, adds to the existing uncertainties surrounding the transaction. In addition, Namco's statement reveals that the corporation is unable to disclose further details or provide additional information about the transaction. We understand the concerns raised by the public and media regarding the Sangura transaction, Namco stated. We want to assure the public that we are fully committed to providing accurate information and maintaining transparency. Furthermore, Namco acknowledged the sensitivity of commercial transactions of this nature and urged the media and the Namibian nation to exercise patience. The corporation emphasized the need for smooth completion of the transaction, which is expected to conclude in 2023. Now, after cancelling a press conference scheduled for yesterday, SWAPO has, in a statement released yesterday, said that more discussions are underway. Now, this follows discussions about a recent Supreme Court ruling which orders the Home Affairs Ministry to issue relevant residence rights to foreign same-sex spouses married to Namibians. According to the party spokesperson Hilma Nikano, the Politburo has resolved that an extraordinary meeting of the Central Committee of the party can be covered to discuss and take necessary decisions over the various concerns raised by its members and the general public, as well as to consider the array available and legally viable statutory remedial action that can be conceivably taken, the statement read. The party also urged its members and the public to remain calm as it tries to find the SWAPO party will do everything it is able to do in accordance with the constitutional and legal requirements to find a long-lasting and acceptable solution, Nikano said. So far, the SWAPO Party Youth League, the Elders Council, Party War Veterans and Founding Party President President Sam Nujoma have all denounced and condemned the ruling alongside Oambo traditional authorities and retired Lutheran bishops. Although the party didn't officially declare its stance on the matter, it did say that it sympathizes with the anxiety and unhappiness expressed by the public and is thus not taking this lightly. SWAPO Party thus calls on its members, sympathizers, supporters and the public that the party is taking the public concerns, anxiety and unhappiness seriously, the statement continued. In our Story of the Day segment, a professional guide of the Zovereign Industrial Coal Mining Complex that was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2001 explains the history of the site. Stay with us.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Now, Christoph Wilmer, professional guide of the Zovereign Industrial Coal Mining Complex that was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2001, explains the history of the site. Now, Zovereign is a large former industrial site in the city of Essen, Germany. The first coal mine on the premises was founded in 1847, and mining activities took place from 1851 until December 2023, 1986. Have a look.
Number 12, number 1, 2 and 8. If there were 12 altogether, there must be 8 more somewhere. They're in a distance of 3 to 4 kilometers. So Zollverein is not one location, but 5 locations in a distance. They're connected quite densely under the ground, about 150 kilometers of tunnel system under the ground on 14 floors. They are connected a little bit above the ground. There are belt bridges like you see here or there. There are railway connections like you see here, for example. There was even a cable car connection, but the main connection under the ground, and the coking plant is location number 6. But only these 3 parts have the title World Cultural Heritage. Well, I think this is more or less enough out here. We will go into the lab. First of all, you have concrete, like you can see here, for example, and then you have steel and the bricks, and sometimes window glass. Just keep this in mind. Different materials causing different problems when reusing the building, then you have the image in your mind already. We'll talk about that. We are difficult because a coking plant is a very difficult machinery. It's difficult to be maintained. We have many problems there. We are not yet as far as we are here. And we have some companies, for example, in that building. This is what we call the combed building because it looks a little bit like a comb. We have some companies there. We have a big function hall in that building, a huge function hall, but many of the buildings are not being used. And if you are World Cultural Heritage, there can still be modern development. So you can build new buildings, for example. And there are a number of new buildings here at the end. These are not the original buildings. This is the head office of the German coal mining company is there. Then the real estate daughter of the coal mining company is there. This is 150 staff members alone, because the coal mining companies had a lot of property of ground in their hands, and there's a company managing that ground. And there's also a foundation located there. We just published their balance this morning. The location is quite rich, 17 billion euros on the bank account. But this location has to cover the eternal costs of coal mining. We will talk about the eternal, if you are interested, we will talk about the eternal costs later on. So in 2018, we use coal, we still use black coal. We have to import the black coal. Of course, these are huge buildings here, and the energy balance of these buildings is poor because these are industrial buildings. Nobody cared for a proper insulation. I will tell you something about the insulation later on. One result of the energy crisis that we had last year because of the Ukrainian war, we had to reduce the opening hours here in this building. Normally we are open every day of the week, and we installed a Monday that is closed, like all the other museums. Normally we are better than all the other museums, but now we are open again on Mondays, so we have overcome the energy crisis here.
Very interesting. Now we bring it back to Namibia. In our Community Talk segment, Windhoek Gymnasium Private School announced its plans to establish 2 school facilities in Walvis Bay and Oneuptwo. Stay with us.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. Jou lief weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Now, Windhoek Gymnasium Private School, based in Windhoek, recently announced its plans to establish 2 school facilities in Walvis Bay and Oneuptwo, with an expected total cost of 120 million Namibian dollars. The new school facility in Walvis Bay will consist of 2 blocks. Block A will include 20 classrooms, 2 computer labs, 2 auditoriums, 1 science lab, 1 robotics lab, admin facilities, an ablution and a library. Block B will include 10 classrooms, an afternoon care room, and admin facilities. It will also include sports facilities, namely 2 rugby and football fields, an athletics track, a cricket field, 4 netball courts, a global international hockey field, the first one in Africa, pavilions, cloakrooms, and public toilets. Quality School founder and executive head of Windhoek Gymnasium Private School, Colette Rekert, said that a few years ago she realized the need for more quality schools with the same footprint and offering as Windhoek Gymnasium in other parts of the country. I also received numerous requests to open a school in a number of areas. After much investigation, I decided to build my next schools in Walvis Bay and Oneuptwo, she said. Now, Rekert added that both areas are showing tremendous growth. There aren't nearly enough schools that offer quality education with the Cambridge International curriculum facilities, as well as sports or cultural opportunities that we can and will deliver. Groundbreaking the ceremony of Walvis Bay Gymnasium will take place on 21 June, and Oshana Gymnasium's groundbreaking will take place on 20 June in Oneuptwo. Stay with us as we head into economic news after the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Namibia's import bill stood at 8.9 billion Namibian dollars in April, a decline when compared to 12.5 billion Namibian dollars recorded in March, according to the Namibia Statistics Agency. On the other hand, Namibia's export earnings stood at 7.6 billion Namibian dollars compared to 10.2 billion recorded in March 2023. Overall, Namibia recorded an improved trade deficit of 1.3 billion Namibian dollars. Let's head into the economic indicators. Gold is up by 0.14%. We'll swing back to that just now. 2.74 Namibian dollars gets you 1 Chinese yuan, and 19.52 Namibian dollars gets you 1 US dollar. Back to the commodities, gold is up 0.14%, whilst other commodities took dips, with the most significant one being zinc, 1.40% down. Kosovo is open to new elections. We'll be looking at this in international news shortly.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhcom.na.
Kosovo is open to the possibility of new elections in 4 northern Serb-majority municipalities following the unrest, but other steps need to be taken before then, Kosovan Foreign Minister Donika Grvala-Schwarz said on Tuesday.
Yes, we are open for new elections in those 4 municipalities, but to have new elections we need steps in between, because we need representatives that are accepted by the people, but we cannot have these representatives if elections are being boycotted and if people who then participate are facing violence from these mobs and criminal gangs coming from Serbia.
Let's have a look at the weather predictions. Sokomund is sunny with a 13-degree minimum. Katima Mulilo has 32-degree maximums, sharing that with Rundu and Enana, whilst the capital Windhoek is slightly colder with a 10-degree minimum. Walvish Bay is sunny, as is Rehoboth. Rehoboth with a 26-degree maximum. Oranjemund is a 10-degree minimum. Ludwitz being the coldest in the country with a 9-degree minimum and a 19-degree maximum. Let's head into the sports news.
Good evening and welcome to your Tuesday evening edition of Sunset News. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kaureitha, unpacking the latest news in the world of sport. Namibia's FIFA-appointed normalization committee, Dina Shitula, has responded to growing concerns about a lack of coaches for Namibia's women's football teams. The Young Gladiators and the Brave Gladiators. Shitula explained that the Under-20 Young Gladiators team only had the COSAFA Women's Championship schedule on their calendar this year. However, organizers postponed their participation in the competition to a more suitable date next year. The second round of the UCI Marathon World Cup saw Namibian-born cyclist Vera Lusa third place in the race. Competitors set out from the ancient village of Final Borg to take on a huge 100-kilometer course that featured nearly 4,000 meters of climbing, taking in every type of terrain imaginable. The race played out to beneath a blazing Italian sun that pushed riders to the limit. Brave Warriors ace defender Ryan Nyambe could become the second Namibian to ply his trade in the Championship League, with sources claiming that Queen's Park Rangers FC are interested in his services. A local source close to Nyambe revealed that QPR are interested in the player, who was just recently released by Weekend Athletic after joining Blackburn Rovers on a one-year contract. That is all we had for you tonight from the world of sports. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook on all NMH platforms on weekdays and Sundays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. This has been Sunset News. My name is Ashwin Berry. Don't end your day without us.